I want to pick up two stories quickly before running off to bed. I'm really quite tired. The first one is Lavrov in Malta and Maria Zakarova not having had her visa revoked. And Lavrov says that uh, the the organisation has become Ukrainianized. That's not really the case, of course. The point is that that's really the only propaganda route that he can go down. But Lavrov is an important player. He's been in the job for 25 years, and even though there are sanctions against him, he doesn't face a travel ban, and he's somebody who we ought to be talking to. The other story, which I think is worth just highlighting, and I'll try and talk about both these stories tomorrow, is this idea of children avoiding school. And Ofsted says this is a major issue. Of course, it's a major issue. One of the reasons children are avoiding school is because our schooling system has gone badly wrong, and if children in such numbers are avoiding schools, it means schools are not attracting the sort of application and the joy of learning and working together that is implicit in our education system. So if we're not actually communicating that, we're failing. And there's a limit to how much you can compel children to attend school. A classroom full of stubborn, sulky children who don't want to be there is almost as bad as a classroom which is half empty because the children aren't there. We have to find a better way of running our schools and running our educational system. I was in Oxford today and I was looking at the higher education system and the way universities are moving. I'm not hugely impressed. Again, we're looking at increasing the amount of data that students process rather than increasing the depth of methodology that students acquire. So data is not education. Data is the information that you use in order to demonstrate your skill. But the skill is with the methodology, and it's rather like making a cake. You can make an enormous cake. Just use more flour and butter. But that there's just one recipe. What we want is a variety of recipes. What you want is a diversity of methodologies and a greater skill set. And we're not teaching that. And we're not giving students the autonomy to use what skill set they've got. Instead, we are imposing this sort of peel and these very specific rules for answering questions in a very structured way, but it's one particular structure. And what worries me is that as we move towards online examinations, there's going to be more of this sort of compartmentalized and box-ticking structure and far less of the comprehensive diversity of methodologies with which we can approach data and information, and we are going to be the poorer for that. And students are wise to this. They can see through all this nonsense. The more data that we throw at them, the more they realize that this is a ruse for disguising the fact that we're not really teaching students how to process large amounts of material. We're expecting everything to go through the same meat grinder, I suppose, to pick up a President Putin image. That takes us back to Lavrov, doesn't it? That's a very tidy way of finishing. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow.